tomorrow.
Let me shock you. I knew Bonnie was going to be a very influential person in the sense that he was not, when we first met, our first date, who the guy I fell in love with was the guy who wanted to bring change. He knew where he'd grown up and he wanted people to grow up differently and better. And that's the guy I fell in love with. So by the time we were stepping into this space, I did not expect things to turn out, of course, the way that they've turned. If you had told me that, I would have said, see ya. Me just know I'll be Noko Ivo. You know where everyone else is. I'll be a volunteer. Yeah, I'll be cheering you. I even told him. I actually even told him, me nitakuwa na uko Ivo. I know you'll go and do great things, but me nitakuwa na uko Ivo. I'll be cheering you, praying for you, wishing for you all the best. But I never thought we were going to be together. And when we got together, I knew, like I said, I had already known this guy was going to not be that guy who is quiet and he's going to try and do a lot of things. I did not imagine this is how it was going to play out.
Okay. Yeah. But you're also a political activist.
Yeah.
Like you are a photographer, you are fully supportive of this. It's not like he's just doing something and you're along for the ride. You fully are a believer in the cause, right?
Completely.
So are there milestones you've hit where you're like, okay, that was a good one, we're doing something right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think for me, I feel like every protest we have done, every protest that we've put out has been a statement. We've made a statement and we have said that this is something we will not stand for and we want to be counted that we came out and said this should not happen.
Right.
Yeah? Whether it has gone on and still happened, we want to be counted that we stood and said that this is not right and Kenyans should rise up and stand and say that this is not acceptable.
Okay.
But also, even with time, we've seen more people come out to the streets, more people are organizing for different causes. And have things changed? Maybe not so much, yeah? But the things that have changed is that more people are standing up and you know, fighting for their rights and fighting for justice.
And I have a question for Sam, because Sam, this is your first feature. Yes. And of all the things you would have started with, why this?
I know, right?
Why this? Who do I know? Let's do this. Why not a love story? What's wrong with romance?
But it is a love story.
In
every sense of the word, it's a love story. It's a story about their love and their marriage, the love for their family. But it's also a story about the love that we have for Kenya and how that translates in different ways.
That's true.
So I didn't choose to start. I think it chose me. And I did go through a phase of acceptance and be like, do I really want to do this? But then eventually you kind of, you see the purpose and the cause of why it is important for Kenyans to reflect on everything that has happened in the last 10 years from post-election violence to this year and kind of just see how our life is in like this cycle, and it is important for us to be like, oh wait, this is who we are, this is what we go through, and like they're a normal family, and they're just trying to figure things out. And that impact, the effects of everything that happens in the country affects their lives, and that's why you're like, okay, this is a story we have to tell, even though it can just be just like a statement of archive, where like we're just keeping the history. Maybe people would watch it this year, maybe they'll watch it next year, maybe they'll watch it in 10 years, but at least we have kept an archive. We have kept a part of our history and we've put it somewhere for people to engage with it.
And there's something that Bonnie says in the movie over and over again, where he says it is God first, then country, then family. And you know, when I was hearing him say that, I'm like, this guy's going to get divorced tomorrow. I swear to God, this guy, stop.
Especially in the car ride, right?
Bonnie, stop. Just stop.
And you're like, I've given my life to my kids. When are you going to give your life to the kids? He's like, I've given my life to Kenya.
Now imagine how I was feeling. I was like, dude, shut up.
But when you hear that, and you know, he said with so much conviction, like, what does that say to you?
You see, it was not just a statement. It's the way he has been living, yeah? And for me, I was challenging that because I'm like, the kids have missed out on you. You have missed out on a lot of things with the kids. And for me, this needs to shift. And if it's about the country, then you have nothing left to bring home, yeah? But if you're fighting for this family, then you have a reason to be out there because you're fighting for your family, but The fight is not in the family, it is for the country, because if things get better in the country, then your family, the lives are better, and that's what you're fighting for. So it can't be that it's country first, then family.
Yeah.
For me, the way I see it, it's family first that drives you to do to seek the change that you want in the country, so that then your family gets the life that you dream for them.
I have a question. Are you ever jealous of Kenya? And before you answer, like as a woman, you want to be first in your man's heart. Like, are you ever like, this country? Before you answer, there's a clip I want us to watch of Bonnie telling you something. Like, he's made a big decision in his life. Can we please play the clip?
Today's the journey that begins.
Could be, you mean, the journey that begins?
No, today, voting, actually today, coming to apply for a voter's card installations that my heart is made up that I'm going to vote. But I cannot change my mind. I think the other thing that we need to think about.
Are you saying that with certainty?
No, you see, a wise man changes the mind. A fool never.
True, but are we having this conversation? This is how you're telling it.
It's 90% there, and the 10% she told me that I must do a few things, which I'm working towards that. So there's my end of the bargain that I must fulfill.
Wow.
I know, Bonnie. I think Sam might be the only reason he wasn't punched that day.
Yeah, actually, if there was no camera, that conversation would have completely been different.
It was not really the first time that you were hearing.
So the thing is, he had talked about he had been thinking about it, but by the time we were going to register, we was kind of, that thought, I guess, uliamua, you're not going to run. So I did not expect that.
Right.
So for him to tell me at that point that he has already made that decision, there, in front of everyone, I was like, you gotta be joking. You can't be telling me now like this.
That you're running for.
Yeah, because we had had this conversation before, and you said, no, you don't think you will, and you had your becauses. And then here we are, unaniambia tu hivo tu, mbele ya watu tu hivo. So you don't even give me the chance to react the way I would have reacted if we were in the house. I would say, yeah. It would have been a difference.
To be happy, to be like fully in your
So I could not
feelings.
I felt like I could not punch him.
Yes.
But
how do you keep it together? Because like I know
you look so together, by the way.
How do you keep me? I was just watching that thing and I'm like, how does she do it? Like, do you do yoga? Do you meditate? Like, what do you do?
I wish. But like I said, for me, God comes first. And I've grown up in a Christian family, and I think for me that has really kept me together, because when I don't know what to do, when I am confused, when I'm scared, I just cry out to God, literally, machozi. I cry out to God, I lock myself in my room, and I say everything, all my fears, everything that I want to say to God, and no one is judging me, no one is asking me questions. It's just between me and God.
Do you have people who whisper in your ear and they're like, you see, I told you.
They don't say it that way, but they give me that eye. That's eye.
Okay.
And they're like, by the way, if you want to nini, you just let me know. Okay. One time.
Okay. Sam, first feature, Sundance. I'm just counting the awards. Sundance. What else?
We won Best Film at the Encounters Festival.
Okay.
And then we won Best Documentary at the Durban Film Festival.
Okay.
The Durban Film Festival is a special one because it qualifies us for consideration for the Oscars.
Oh, so you're in consideration for the Oscars?
Yes.
You haven't been nominated?
Not yet.
When do you get the call? When did you get the call about this? And you're like,
it basically allows us to apply and be like, we want to be considered because we qualify, because you have to qualify for that to happen. So so there's that. Then
what can we do as Kenyans to bring this Oscar home? Like we have one with
who
Peter.
Who can we pay?
And now, to pay.
I think
the thing that's it's actually happening is people are coming out to watch the film, because this film wasn't made for the Oscars. It wasn't made for the outside world. Actually, it was made for Kenyans.
Okay.
So it's the best thing Kenyans can do is you know, the film is in the theaters now.
It is.
And it's incredible that we're actually in the theaters.
Yes.
For a documentary, that's not something.
And several showings a day, because I called and I was told 2 and 5 and 1 and 3 and 5.
Imagine,
you know?
like
yes.
it's incredibly amazing that Kenyans are showing that kind of love.
Yes.
And I would love to just encourage them to just watch, because it's our story. And, and you know, it just comes from a very powerful place of love.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I have a question for you before we're running out of time. We've seen power couples, the Obamas, it was his time, he wrote his books, he ran for senator, he ran for office, he was president. Then now it's Michelle's turn. She's done her book, she's doing her podcast, there's a Netflix doc. When is it your turn?
Wow, that's a difficult question. I think the way life has unfolded for us, it has brought us to a place almost at standstill, where we're asking ourselves, what next? And both as a couple and as Boniface himself, he's asking himself, what next? And even for myself, what next? And I will not sit here and lie that we have that figured out yet. It's a thing that...
Do you ever get tired, like you're like, okay, it's time for someone else to do all this. Me, I just want a vacation, and like, you know, somebody else can handle. There's so many NGOs.
Even Moses in the Bible told God, I want to see wangu.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Nimechoka. Yeah. Unarushia kila mtu files na unasema nimeenda.
It does get tiring, especially when people ask you some questions that you wonder, does life mean nothing to you? Because the standards that we have been held up to, we have declared even our wealth. We are just private citizens like everyone here, yeah? But then the standards that we uphold, that have been held against us, are not the same standards that we hold our leaders upon, right? And it becomes very annoying to see that you expect so much from me, a private citizen, than what we expect from our leaders, because those leaders are in those offices to ensure that resources are available in every, you know, in every aspect of our lives. In schools, in hospitals, in, you know, all areas of our lives. And when we don't ask for those things, but then you come to us as private citizens, and you want those things to be provided, or for us to go to that office and ask for you, or to just make it happen, it makes me wonder, why? Why would you choose certain leaders? Do you connect that the person you choose as a leader and the life you live, does that connect
and that the
anywhere?
two are actually linked.
Yeah, they're completely linked. And if you can't connect that, then we have a very long way to go.
Okay, okay. That's a perfect note to end on. We have met 2 Shujaas, and we have another 2 coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere. We are asking, who is your Shujaa? And our phone number is right there on the screen. Please send us a picture of the person you're celebrating tonight. And also you can reach us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, The Loop on K24. We want to know who your Shujaa is.